It looks like we're live. First of all, everybody, if you can hear me, let me know. I've been fighting a bunch of audio issues. Get to the comments. There we go. The way I got this set up so that you guys can see the tools. You might miss me when I move up here to the computer. Yep, sounds good. All right, cool. I am having a great day. Other than the usual, the COVID stuff, it's still kind of kicking my butt, but you know what? It is what it is. I'm just going to make the best of it, right? So let me see. We already have 39 people in here. Wow. Let's see. We're doing this a little bit differently. I'm actually out in the shop. This is my first time using my and I've got this microphone right here, as you can see. And I was going to do a wireless lav mic. I got it all set up. Everything was going and the battery was dead. And it's supposed to be charging all the time. Brand new one. So I got to figure out what I did wrong with that. So let's see, as we get started here, looks like a bunch of people are jumping in. And to watch, let's see, I'm going to step off camera here, so don't panic. I've got this far. Let's see, there we go. Yeah. Okay, this is what we're kind of watching here. We're at 99,977. If you're out there right now, feel free to roll that meter over if you haven't subscribed yet. And we'll see, we're going to record it live as it goes over to 100,000. Hopefully my voice holds up. One of the little side conditions of this COVID long haul is some congestion, and my voice kind of disappears this time of day a lot. And I can't mute the mic as easily as I normally could, so anyway, let me get back to the big screen till we get a little closer. And let's see, maybe, yeah, we'll put that one off to the side. All right, because what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a number of different things here, but mostly I'm going to show you some of the cool items Level 5 has supplied for this 100,000 giveaway, as well as we're going to talk about things, kind of some of the future videos we're looking at right now, and mostly it's just kind of a celebration. This is a once-in-a-lifetime thing for me. I honestly thought I could do it, but it sure has been a lot of work, and mostly due to all this illness, as you guys know. Otherwise, I think I'd have been there quite a time ago, but it's really hard when you can only work 3 to 5 hours a day. Let's see what comments we got coming up. Oh, the audio's cutting in and out. That's not good. Hi, sister. Laura's in here.
Hi, Laura.
Oh boy, this audio has been something else today. Let me see, maybe I might have to switch camera, audio. Let's see, is this one working? See if everybody can hear me off this one. Oh, wow. This is the laptop microphone, so my expensive microphones are all crap today. Isn't that how it goes? That's what live streaming is really good for. So let's see if I can read these comments from here. I might have to change glasses. I got 2 pairs of glasses these days. One for reading and general purpose stuff, and then these are computer glasses. So let me change my camera angle a little bit here for you guys. I usually sit right behind the computer in my office. I can read everything better. Trying to do it this way, I'm having to back way up, a little harder to see. So right about there, he's saying the sound is good, but when I get back to here, is it getting too lousy? Let me know. This is what I tried to use earlier. Would have been great. It's what I used on the last video where you guys said the sound was so good. It's a little tiny thing. It's a pretty nice little wireless mic, but the receiver part is also cordless and the battery was dead. So that kind of negates it for here. So let's see, as we go, we're going to wait on this counter to go, because sometimes the way these live counters go, it's not super accurate. It can jump up and down. And of course, on a YouTube channel, you always have people unsubscribing. It's just normal. Sometimes they came for one thing and they got what they needed and they decided they just don't need it anymore. It's just normal. So we're going to see numbers go up and down, but let me just switch. Because what I wanted to do in this live stream is to set up for giving you guys a bunch of sweet gifts like these right here. I mean, this right here is probably worth around $500, and we've got a lot more. Now, for those of you that have commented, hey man, don't go broke just giving us these gifts. Don't worry. I'm taken care of. I know how to do this. I reached out to level 5 and said, hey, I'm getting close to 100,000 subscribers. Do you guys want to throw in some free tools and I'll promote them for you and give them to them, as, you know, to my viewers as a special celebration gift? And they were glad to. I mean, that's a lot of nice stuff right there. And as you can see, I have used their skim coating blades before. You'll get one of those in that set right there if you win it. And what we're going to do, let's see. Hey Don, thanks. I appreciate you trying to stay. Sometime, you know, it works that way. Our internet's always not the greatest sometimes. And I usually plug in, and I was not sure if my wireless all the way out here in my studio was going to reach, because this is my studio. It's actually my garage going that way. It's pretty cramped out here, and my wife is actually out here. Let's see if I can. Hi. Yeah, there she is down there. She's out here kind of monitoring things and helping with me and celebrating, because this is a huge moment for us. This what has happened, for those of you that don't realize it, is our channel has just taken off. And this is kind of common in YouTube. YouTube tends to have a lot of spikes, and then it'll calm back down, and then sometimes it tends to do this level. You're like going all along like this, and then suddenly you'll spike for a while and you land on a new plateau. Well, we're holding on that new plateau, and it's just night and day, because when you think about it, on YouTube, we're making money 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, because YouTube never sleeps. And I'm reaching people all over the world. As a matter of fact, if you're anywhere outside of the US, comment down below. I hear from people everywhere. Germany, Australia a lot, of course Canada, and I welcome you all. So, and as far as who won, this contest is just getting started. I'm going to tell you how to enter here in a few minutes. I paused there for a second because when I'm shooting video and I'm recording, I often have to pause when I'm thinking, so that it makes it easier to cut when I start moving again. I forget that I'm live stream here. And thank you, Tech Skills. I tell you what, it's been a 5-year journey. I actually started this business in December 2015, and I knew it was going to take several years to get the channel growing well, and it does. As a matter of fact, I'll show you the way the channel grows on the statistics here, because it's a lot of work. I have put thousands of hours of work into it. Get the right thing here. Go over to here. In case anybody can't tell, I'm hyper and nervous because I've been working a lot of the day here trying to get this thing working, everything working right, and putting together the list of all the stuff I'm going to give out. And of course, internet's being slow because I'm live on stream here. There we go. So the first like 2 years, it was like nothing. I didn't make a dime for at least 2 years. I forget exactly how long it was, but it was at least 2 years. But you just have to put in the hard work. And my goal is to try and deliver quality video content to you guys, to teach you guys to learn how to do your own home improvement projects, save money, and take pride in your workmanship. I'm sure you've heard me say that. I've said it a couple hundred times now. We got over 200 videos out, and I got plans for hundreds more, so we'll have a lot more going here. But let's see if I can pull this up. And we'll go to lifetime. And you're going to see what I made and everything. I'm not worried about it because it's just been a lot of hard work to get here. So now let's go this way. Come on. Matter of fact, I'll just go full screen here. So you can see that in the course of doing this business, this channel, you can see the first several years here, I made like nothing. Let me get to the right screen. Yeah. You can see this is, it thinks I started in 2013 because that's when I signed up, but we look back around early 2016, you can see I was getting like 50 views, 70, 80. It wasn't until 2017 that I started getting like 800 views. And then we had days and times where we got 5,000, and lately we're up to, or that's the total. Lately we're up to like 58,000 views in a month, I think that is. I'm like I say, I'm nervous here. I don't normally look at it that far back anymore because I just know that it's been a long haul. So here you can see the last year. You can see where it was just really slow. It peaked up here and it landed on this plateau right here. So oops, did we just lose me? I think we did.
I don't know.
Let me see. Yep. My camera just quit, so hang on. I'll try and get it back. Oh, I got to solve this and make this better for next time. But
That's better.
There, we're back. Okay. So anyway, you can see it's just been a long road, and in previous months we would make, in a good month in December and January or November last year, we'd make like $3,000, and last month we did much better here. So let's say last 28 days, you can see here, where is it? There, yeah, you can see in the last 28 days we had 24,000 subscribers, 1.8 million views, and we made $13,000. Now that's going to drop next month, but hey, that's still a big jump. We can finally start thinking about looking for a house. Oops, I guess I ought to put me back on screen here too, huh? Okay, yeah, we can finally start looking at buying a house, which we've been renting for like 11 or 12 years now. And that is the most exciting thing, to finally get our own home. Hey, Paul, welcome in here. Thanks. Saw you got it a while back, but yeah, I tell you what happened, Paul, and everybody else. With this COVID, I honestly have 3 to 5 hours of work or energy a day. And with that, it was getting hard to go out and do the work. And then this channel took off and started paying the bills and looking better. And I thought, you know what, it's just a good time to close the doors. I sold my work trailer. I'm going to show you that in a video shortly in another day. And I decided it's time to focus on YouTube. And this way I can spend those 3 or 4 hours a day trying to do something related to YouTube instead of out there trying to make a buck doing drywall and then coming home and crashing and not having the energy. So that's going to help us put out more videos and grow the channel faster. And a good friend of mine I've known for 40 years, he just spent a bunch of money on a custom-built computer. His son built it. So they did it for a reasonable price, but it was a couple $1,000s so that he can edit my videos. As you know, Paul, and anybody else that does YouTube, editing is like 70% of the workload. So tell me if we get to like 90. So anyway, without me having to do all that editing, which I still do right now because he's still coming up to speed, I'm going to be able to put out a lot more. I'm going to be able to start that second channel. For those that don't know, we're going to have a second channel called That Kilted Guy Creates. And that's where I'm going to go and do things like woodworking, automotive, working on my street rods, things like that. And just a little bit of other general stuff that doesn't quite fit into the channel here, because this channel is more about drywall skills and things related to that. So I figured we'd start a second channel. And we're probably actually going to start more than that. We're going to work on things like a cat channel. We happen to have a fair amount of cats. They're funny, they're cute, people love cats. You love cats, right? Oh, put your hand down. You know you all love cats, come on. At least to watch them on YouTube. So we figure we got the cats, we got the camera gear, might as well do that too. But that's a little bit down the road. First I got to get my energy back. And I posted recently that I'm trying everything I can. I've tried every supplement I've heard of that's supposed to help. I've been through thousands of dollars worth of alternative treatments at a functional medicine doctor. I've talked to my doctor many times. There just really isn't a cure for the COVID long haul. And it just kind of is what it is. So I make the best of it. I keep trying. So I started on ivermectin yesterday, and we'll see if that works or not. I got to take one more dose and then I'll maybe have an idea in a few days. If not, I'll move on to something else. I'm going to keep trying until this crap goes away. Oh yeah, there's plenty of dog people out there, but cats are just fun to watch. I love dogs too. When we move to our own place, we're going to have a dog. We want a golden retriever. Love those dogs. Yes, I already do zinc, lots of vitamin C, lots of vitamin D, selenium. I do it all. Trust me, if you name it, I've probably done it, because I bought the biggest weekly pill case they make, and I fill it up and still have to reach over and get some out of the bottles, because I'm trying fish oil, I'm trying zinc and vitamin D, extra vitamin D. I've watched Dr. Berg and Dr. Axe, and I've just researched the heck out of this, and nothing's helping, but I'll keep trying. And thanks, everybody. I appreciate the well wishes. I'm not going to give up. One thing that helps is being financially stable. You know, honestly, if this channel hadn't been going when I started it, we'd have been out on the street. We did that GoFundMe a while back because we were close to going out on the street even then. We weren't making enough, and suddenly we had all these issues and expenses. You guys helped us get through that. It truly did. We didn't go buy new furniture. We didn't go buy new cars. I'm still driving the same 14-year-old truck that I've been driving. My wife's is 10 years old.
11.
11. We're not splurging. What we did is we used some of that to try and get ahead. We've done things like paying down some bills, trying to get my credit up, because honestly I had a 550 credit score a year ago, and that's from not being able to work and being sick. Now I'm up to 660, and with this month's income I'm going to pay down some more bills. I think we'll jump over 700. I get a VA loan, so I don't need any money down, but that'll help me get a better interest rate. So you guys have helped a lot, either through watching videos or the GoFundMe or all the other things. Yeah, I'll look up. I buy all kinds of books. I read them. Let's see, trying to read the comments too here. Yep, I take the fish oil. My blood pressure's off the charts. We can't seem to get it under control. When I went in for the COVID last year, I was like 200 over 120 or something crazy. And lately, the best I've seen is like 157 over 110, I think. And so the doctor has me on even more blood pressure meds, and I've tried all kinds of natural ways to lower my blood pressure, and I'm going to keep trying. So far, it hasn't worked. But there's a new one my functional medicine doctor turned me on to, but it's $40 a month. So it's a little pricey. Now we can afford that better, and I'm going to keep trying that one. It's a nitric oxide booster. Hopefully that helps some. Yep, do lots of garlic. We do that in cooking. We're trying to eat really healthy. We eat like grass-fed beef, organic as much as we can, lots of fruit, things like cruciferous vegetables. Trust me, we do quite a bit. Yeah, we could be a little bit better, but we don't. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't even drink sodas. Now I do have to drink some energy drinks, but I drink the sugar-free ones to keep from getting all that sugar and just deal with the aspartame or whatever. Milk thistle pill capsules, yeah, I think I've done that too.
Yeah, I've got some.
Yeah, she takes them. Okay, wait a minute. I gotta forget, I remember that I can do this here. Come on, move over there. I got two screens going here, which I'm not used to. There, that's a good one. Your videos are so awesome. I believe you could teach a dog how to drywall and mud tape, etc. You're a great teacher, and thank you for doing them for all of us to learn and enjoy. Sister, if you're still in here, say something, but I'm going to tell about my sister who popped in here. That's Laura, and she's done drywall. So for you ladies out there that are watching this, yes, you can do drywall. There's nothing stopping you. My sister's pretty dang capable of anything she wants to do. She's run dozers and heavy equipment and done drywall. She's taped and finished, textured. She can keep up with a lot of guys. Maybe not now, we're getting a little older, but she's done a lot of that, and she's the same height I am. We're both about 6'2". I think I got her by a hair, unless she's got her hair up. And she's got me by 6 hairs. So anyway, let's see. Rocky Mountain water. Yeah, I drink the real Rocky Mountain water. I don't drink. I really am trying to do the best I can to take care of myself. So I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink beer. I've cut out the sodas. I've cut out a lot of the sweets because I'm a sugarholic. I've done the best I can, but this COVID long haul, if you go research it, you'll find out that almost nobody's getting over this. It's just wicked crap. And they think it's related to mast cell activation syndrome, which basically means that your immune system kicks into overdrive to fight off a virus, but then when the virus goes into remission, which it doesn't die, it just goes into remission because viruses aren't really alive. It's like genetic material that attaches to your DNA. When it goes into remission, your body's supposed to quit fighting it. Well, mast cell activation means that it continues to fight it, so it's not there, so it just starts attacking our own body. And that's what makes us feel so crappy. And they're trying to figure out how to get that to turn off. and a low histamine diet and histamine blockers seem to be one of the best ways. And I told my doctor that in a message this morning by secure messaging. We'll see if they'll do anything with that or not. And what did I do while I was in the Air Force? Well, let me see. Let me scroll up here just a second here. It's hard to run all this by myself, but I should have got my wife on the back end on the screens, I guess, this time. And I appreciate you guys that try to only buy tools using our Amazon links. That really helps a lot. Amazon actually contributes to a couple $1,000s a month in income, so it all helps. Now I don't know how to get that comment off the screen. Here, I'll do it this way. And let's see, banners. Okay, so anyway, I want to tell you guys about this giveaway. What we're going to do is we're going to put all of these giveaway items up for you guys to win, and you'll win it through a website, basically an app, a platform called Gleam.io. And the reason we use them is because they control all the legalities. They make sure it's impartial and fair. I can't rig it. And it allows us to set up ways you can enter for free. And then you can also enter multiple ways, like if you click on certain links and do certain things, you get bonus entries. You'll see when you go there. Excuse me, hang on a second here. I gotta clean my glasses so I can see. Oops, I probably yelled into the microphone. It gives you all kinds of different ways to get bonus entries if you want. And then when it's done, it will pick the winners for us randomly, so I have no control over it. And that way you know it's going to be impartial. You got an equal chance, same equal chance everybody else does. And we've got, like I say, oh boy, where is that? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to talk about what Level 5 has sent us to start with. For starters, they sent us one of their deluxe paddle mixers. They call this a 32-inch, 7-inch across professional compound mixer. I've yet to try it. I'm going to try it because you guys will get brand new tools. You're not getting these. No, I'm keeping these. No, they sent these to me so I can demonstrate them. So I'll try this one out and compare it to my $40 USG mixer over there. And then let's see. This is going to be one giveaway by itself, which is this welded stainless steel 6-inch mud knife. And you know, it's been a while since I bought Level 5 tools. I've got them. I've got mud boxes, things like that, but they last a long time. I don't remember ever buying knives, especially 6 inches, where they have blade protectors on them. This kind of stuff tells me they put a lot of attention to detail, but this is solid stainless steel. Pretty cool. I've wanted to try one. I just wondered if it would slip or not, but I have like 4 or 5 of these, so I didn't buy one until we got this. Oops, forgot that part. Then there's going to be just these. Okay, and then this whole set right here, this is what they call, no, Q&A is not open yet. Oh, okay, I'm on the wrong screen. Hang on. There we go. Okay, so this is what they call, I think it's the DIY tool kit. So it comes with all of this in one. So what you get, of course, is
$9.90.
Okay. You get a 6-in-1, really nice, sturdy thing. Got a beer opener on it and everything, so, you know, pretty nice. You get a 3-inch knife here. And they just call it a stainless steel professional joint knife. And then you get that 6-inch, like I showed you a minute ago. And then, let's see, you get a bucket scoop. Now, if you haven't ever used a bucket scoop, you're going to like this because it fits the shape of your bucket, scoops it out nicely. I've got one. They're great. You also get this 10-inch knife, and again, all of them have these blade protectors on them. You get a 12-inch knife. These are all stainless, so top of the line. And I chose this partly because this is really handy if you're going to mix up hot mud, or for those of you that just dabble with this, you can throw some mud out of a box or a bucket into here, mix it up in your pan. You don't have to have that $180 drill and that $50 mixer. You get it with this little thing. Really handy for those of you that just do this part-time. And then you get a fully welded 14-inch level 5 pan. This is no seams here, just seams on the end, and I believe they're TIG welded. These are as good as they get. So that's your first batch of tools. $9.91. Okay, when it hits $9.95, we will switch over. Let me make sure everything looks good. And I'll go back through and read all your comments. As a lot of you know, I'm one to read 99% of my comments, and I try to answer as many as I can. If it's a longer one, you guys need to contact me through Patreon or through my consulting service on my website at thatkiltedguy.com. And my Patreon service it's a membership. You can find a link in the description down below. But it's basically a place where you can join at a level of $3 and up. And at the higher levels, you get consulting service with me. So if you got questions, you contact me, I answer them. I try and help you guys out that way. But I can only answer the simple questions in the comment section. Almost getting hoarse already. Okay, let's see what's next on the list here. We got, this is one complete set right here. All these skimming blades. So it starts with this 10-inch, and I've never used one of these, so I'm interested to try it. It's basically a finishing knife. It's part of the skim coating set, but I wouldn't really say I'd skim coat a wall with this, but it is in the same design. And if you haven't seen these, I'm going to talk more about them in future videos, but they're really nice, really flexible blades here with a rigid guide right here. Removable end cap, so you can slide that out and replace it if you happen to damage it. I like them, but I think this would be good for like a first coat on your joints. I'm going to have to play with it and see what I think about it. It's very interesting. Uh-oh. Hang on, camera's off again. Every 20 minutes it's going to go off. Is it back?
Now it is.
Okay, my camera turns off every 20 minutes. So the next thing you get is this 24-inch skim coating blade. This has been one of my favorites. It's a really good all-around blade. It'll do skim coating on small stuff. It works great on repairs. You can use it on splitting out butt joints. I'm doing a video here soon where I'm going to demonstrate the difference between coating a butt joint with the skim coating blades versus a 12-inch knife, like most of us have done most of our life, if you're a pro, that is. And then you get the big boy here, the 32-inch. Now they do have bigger ones, but for most of your uses, this is as big as you need. I do have a bigger one. Okay, We're going to switch over here in a minute. But most of the time, this is about all you need. And then as part of that set, you get the handle. This attaches to these. Anyway, I'm trying to hurry here. It attaches to them, locks down, and then you get this professional pole here they sent to go with that. So you get the whole shebang, and this is an extendable pole. So it will take care of all your skim coating needs. That's one set. So that's pretty much the lineup of level 5 tools. Now I'm going to bring up the other screen because we are just 4 away. Oh, let's see where we go. And there we go. We're at 96. So when we hit 98, I guess I'll probably turn it to the full screen. After we roll over here, because this could happen in the middle of me talking, I'm going to show you some more goodies. But here's one more. I asked this company about this. This is really cool. I'm going to do a video installing this soon. You've heard about smart everything. Well, this is a smart lock. It really is. It actually can be opened with your phone. You can open it with your thumbprint. You can open it in pretty much normal ways too, so it's never going to lock you out. The handy thing about this thing, this is $250, by the way, or more. I remember it was up there. Handy thing about that is, let's say you got a drywall repair guy coming over. Oh wait, I don't do it anymore. But if you got somebody coming over to do some work on your house, you can get on your phone, give them an instant code. It lets them in with that code. You know when they came in, you know when they left. And once they've used it, it wipes it out. So it's a one-time code. You don't have to worry about your safety, them coming back and robbing you or something like that. So I'll go over all that, but you guys are going to get one of these for free if you win. So let's see, 99,997. Yes, we are so close. Are you getting emotional, honey?
Yeah.
This has been very emotional for both of us because there's been many nights when I was healthier. I was up till 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, editing videos, and then I was up by 7:30 or 8, back on the computer, editing, promoting, building websites, all the things we do. And then I would go to work, come home, go right back on the computer, take an hour break to sit down with my wife, and go back to it again. So I was either, are you recording it now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I was either editing videos, shooting videos, promoting, setting up, building, something like that, always doing something. It's just huge amount of work, but I think it was worth it. There we go. We're 2 away. If you haven't subscribed yet, click now. See if we can make it go up 1.
Or 70.
But trust me, this is only the beginning. Yes, I'm getting hoarse. I plan on hitting many, many more, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, because I get a lot of joy out of helping you guys. I love hearing all the comments about how I'm helping you, and it's a lot of fun. After what? Oh, it just rolled over there, but it didn't roll over here. There we go. All right. Mm. Mm. Yes, you're crying.
I'm a crybaby.
You can
What
be
can
on
I
the
say?
camera crying. Now it may go back down, but it's we crossed that threshold now, so we're done. We made it. So, oh man, thank you guys so much. It's, you know, I don't know what to say. It's amazing that I can help so many of you guys. I'm gonna get emotional too, honey. Go sit down.
Yeah.
Oh, let me switch hats here. since we were talking about level 5 tools. Wow. You know, if you guys have any kind of business or dream out there, if you're thinking of building any kind of business, just remember it takes a lot of hard work. Don't give up. If you're a YouTube creator, you're going to have to spend a year or two to start making money. But as you saw, it can climb fairly quickly with these subscribers and everything. And what's more important than subscriber count is the fact that I'm helping many of you. What better way to make a living than knowing that you're helping people save money, learn how to do their own home improvement projects, take pride in their workmanship, and do it right. Wow. Okay, now that we crossed that line, I could show you a few more things we're going to give away. Hang on one second here. Turn the microphone off. Wait, that one's not on. Okay, nobody leave. I'm going to be right back. I need a short break, take a drink, and all that stuff. So, in the background I saved today, it's gone. Oh, the fun of this. Where's that it? Oh, there it is. I will be right back. Oh, sorry about that. I goofed up. Sound was muted. Now you can hear me. You saw the images going across there. That's all the free things that Radius is going to give away. So it's hard to do by yourself. I'm going to have help next time. So they're giving away 3 sets of everything on this page. The hand sander, the circular type. This is the dust-free version. It hooks up to your sander and it's much better than the old style. I've seen it. They're going to send me this to test out and I'll demonstrate all that for you. So they're giving away 2 of those, 5 of the sets above, and then 5 of these. Actually, it was 3 of the first one. 5 of these pole sanders with the pole. So it's a pretty cool set of stuff they're giving away. And then the other thing is I have a YouTube friend. His name is Doug. He has a channel called Fleet's Wood Shop. If you guys are into wood shop or woodworking, go check him out. I'll put a link to him down below, but just look up Fleet's Wood Shop. He has the most killer wood shop in the world. I mean, this is killer. And he's just the nicest guy. You won't meet a nicer guy on YouTube. He'll answer all your questions. He tries to respond to everything. He's going to send me something that he's made in his wood shop to give away in this also. And he makes some really cool stuff. So that should be good. What we're going to do is we're going to launch this whole giveaway here in the next week sometime. So be watching for another video where I come out and say, hey, it's live. Here's how you enter. Also watch my community tab post so that you can see the details there. And then that contest is going to run 3 to 4 weeks, like probably till the end of April. And then we will have the big drawing and another live stream at that time where we will announce all of the winners on the air live. So be sure and be watching for that live stream to see if you won. At that time, I'm also going to have my buddy Nick come down. He's the one that's going to be doing the editing. He's going to set me up with a bunch of professional sound. He's a musician. He's got it all. He's going to help me out. We'll do better next time. He'll be running the behind the scenes, the camera and the sound. And if you guys would like, I want him to play some music. He's a really good musician. He's a drummer and a guitarist. We won't have him play drums though. He plays some cool guitar. Go check his channel out. It's Nick Coleman, Kuhlmann. I think there's 2 N's. Anyway, and he'll probably do a little bit of music in the background here and there. And I'm trying to get him to start his channel. He's got it started, but I'm trying to help him get it started. So we're kind of working together on this. Oh, let's see. Thanks, Jimmy. Yeah, dust is the worst. I have got, see if you can see back here in the corner. There's 3 sanders sitting here. You can probably barely hear me, but there's 3 sanders right here in the corner. And that's partly because I get some of them for free, but I did buy 2 of them, but I hate dust. I hate dust. It's my least favorite thing about drywall, and I'm sure that's the case with a lot of you. And so anyway, I'm always trying to show you guys ways to do drywall finishing and that with less dust. I'm going to do a separate video just about that because honestly, one of the tricks, the biggest trick you can learn is how to put it on where you don't need to sand it. When I do it, all I really have to sand are what's called lap marks. That's where my knife picks up and leaves a lap mark. And sometimes I got to sand something here and there, but the other thing is the edges. I do a lot of repairs, and when you sand, or when you do repairs, you need to sand those edges. So I'm going to show you guys how to reduce that amount of dust. There's sometimes you can do wet sanding. I'll show you that too. I better do what video? I think everybody has sound now. The sound was off for a while, but that was my mistake, trying to run the whole scene by myself. Let's see. Pull this chair up here. There. Yeah, I'm always telling you guys about the radius sander because it's the easiest. Oh, dang. It's the easiest sander for you guys to use. Oops. I'll be right back. Another reset of the camera. So it's one of the easiest sanders for you guys to use, so that's why I recommend it a lot. Okay, get down here to the lower comments. Tell you what, we'll open up Q&A for a little bit if you guys want to ask any questions, either about drywall or our personal lives. We're an open book. Let me get a drink though. I can tell you guys that I have like a dozen or more videos shot that I plan on putting out, that I just need more time, and that's where my editor comes in. So we'll be doing more of that. Thanks, I appreciate it. I tell you what, I've had a number of businesses before. This is the most exciting thing I've done, and that's partly because of the security. I've always known drywall is hard on me, and I breathe, I'm around a lot of dangerous stuff, lead and asbestos and just all kinds of nasty stuff, and it's kind of dangerous. So I've always been concerned about getting sick, and then my money just stops. I'm a one-man show, and that's mainly because I'm picky. I'm really picky, and most people don't do the quality of work that I want, so I do it all myself. And now I've got this YouTube channel to take care of me when days when I might be sick and retired too. A really good corner sander. There's one out there that I want to try. I haven't ever tried it. The way I've always sanded, us pros can kind of adapt. I mostly sand just with my pole sander, and I just angle it a little bit, and that way it doesn't leave lines and gouge. But there is one I want to try. I'll try that. Try and check that out one day. And actually, yes, all the time. I've worn my kilt on many jobs. If you watch some of my videos, you'll see in some of them I'm on a job site and I'm in a kilt, and I'm often barefoot. Why do I work barefoot? Well, hang on, I'm going to mute the mic. Hopefully I remember to unmute it. For those that don't know, I have peripheral neuropathy in my feet. It's a nerve condition. It causes the ball of your feet and your toes to sting and burn like they're on fire, and it's really painful if I have to wear shoes. Plus, I work in finished homes when I'm doing repairs, so I got carpeted floors, just like you would at your house. It's not really dangerous. Yeah, I've talked to her about it. She does alterations, and we've thought about her doing that, but I would still be doing all the editing and that, so we've decided right now, no, probably not. Is hot mud the same as patching plaster? Well, I'm not real sure. I know that plaster of Paris, that's a little different. I think you could use it, but I would compare it probably more closer to Durabond. Durabond is like the original hot mud, and it sets up like concrete. And I think that's what plaster of Paris would compare to. I haven't played with plaster of Paris in a long time. Hot mud, they call it easy sand because it's a little bit easier to sand than Durabond, but it's a lot harder to sand than regular mud. So it's not quite the same. The advice I have for dealing with competition is this. I've had to restart mine a time or two. Like I originally started Mr. Patch Drywall in about 1997, and in 1999 I did $100,000 worth of work. That came from mostly doing top quality work, being reliable. So in other words, if you say I'll be there to bid your job at 3, don't show up at 5. And if you are going to be late, tell the customer. These days you got a cell phone, text them at least. Tell them you're running behind and is that okay? Be honest, have integrity, do what you say you're going to do. Don't overcharge. At the end, one of the worst things I see is people who do a job and like 80% of the time they come up with extras at the end. If you can't bid it right, eat it. That's your fault. You got to learn to bid it right. So that's an art in itself. And I'm going to try and do a video on some of this kind of stuff too. But basically do good quality work, be reliable, and do more. In the early days, a lot of times what I would do is I'd go in to fix, say, 2 cracks. And while I was there, I noticed, hey, you got another one right over here you didn't see. I'll fix that one, no extra charge. I'm already there, it's already masked off. Why charge you more? And you make a happy customer. You want to build a reputation on the internet, and I have a YouTube if you look up Mr. Patch Drywall, I'm 5-star rated everywhere except for 3 reviews that were negative, and 2 of those were ex-friends trying to slander me. It was bullshit. And the other one was because I missed bidding a job. I just totally forgot. And instead of him calling me and telling me, he just gave me a 1-star review on Angie's List. So you want to go for that 5-star review. And if you leave a job and the customer says, hey, you messed up, you didn't do this, or what about this? If you were supposed to do it, even if it takes you an extra day, do it. I'll give you a quick example of times I've done that. I bid a job one time for painting. I skim coated this whole house to get rid of his texture, and then I put a different texture, a skip trowel on it, because that's what they wanted. And then I primed it and painted it. Well, at the time I bid it, I had the flu. So I didn't clarify things like I normally would, and he asked me if it would cover in one coat. And I said, it kind of depends. It may if you go with light colors. So when we got to the end, he went with this green, and it wasn't really very light, but it was my word against his. He said, well, this is a light color. So what I did is I said, I'll do the labor after we discussed it. Well, I said, I'll do the labor and just get it done for you. You provide the materials, and he was happy. Other times I've worked till 1 in the morning to get a job done because I said I would get it done. That's integrity and being reliable. Yes, hot mud is fast drying compound. That Festool sander, I think it's a killer tool. Everything I can see about it. I bought mine, my Porter cable, in about 97, I think it was, when I think it was the only one around. So I didn't have a choice. And if I was starting out today, getting back into drywall, I was younger, I think I'd try and get that Festool. I know they make top-notch stuff. There are some good features about it. Now they got one that's a lot lower priced, and their vacuums are really good. There's a guy that I follow his name. His channel's Millis Construction, and he's doing a great job. If you like tool reviews, construction type stuff, check out his channel. And he's got all Festool stuff, and it looks like really good quality tools, so I wouldn't hesitate to buy one. I would like for them to send me one to test out one day if you're listening out there, but let's see. It jumped a bit here, so I gotta scroll back up. There's a great channel for that out there. I think it's called that Kilted guy. I teach a lot of this. Honestly, it's a good way to start, but the absolute best way is to go apprentice for somebody. For those that don't know, I was walking on a pair of stilts when I was 8 years old. My dad did this, took me to a job. I was so short, I couldn't reach the nails that were 6 foot tall. So I was doing it. I was hanging sheetrock with my dad when I was around 14. I was on a job site every day after school in high school. I grew up doing it. And that's what made me good, is a lot of it. Good instructors, good, work for a good crew, and you can learn it. I'm also going to be putting out a lot of actual courses, not just videos where I walk you through step one, learn about the tools and the basic techniques and all that, all the way through the more slightly advanced stuff. I'm going to have several different courses you can check out. Oh, I wish. Believe me, my wife and I have this discussion a lot, is sometimes I think, God, why can't I just get over this? I've always been able to. I fall on jobs, rip fingernails off, about kill myself, falling off scaffolding. I get back up as soon as I catch my breath, I'm back on the job. I broke this finger recently. I didn't go to a doctor. I normally can just get through anything and just make up my mind and do it. And this time I can't. It's not that kind of condition. So money will help though. Yep, hands-on. It's one of the best ways. You just gotta get your hands dirty and do it. And then, like I say, watch a lot of these videos about the basics and practice. Practice. I have probably spread, 10,000 boxes of mud. I don't know. And you're welcome. Let's see here. Taping uneven surfaces and then sanding it to not have the tape show up, how to even it out. Okay, one of the biggest mistakes I see novices make is over sanding. So I just did a job recently for a customer. She got it part way and then I took it the rest, and I do that fairly often because most people on a more complex job can't get it all the way to the end. They can get a good start, but not quite to the end. And part of the problem is what we're trying to do is put it on, and fill in the spots, float out the humps. But what you guys often do is you do that and you start sanding and you hit that paper tape and you just keep sanding around it because you see a low spot in the edge. Fill those edges in. You don't ever want to sand past your profile. If you're doing a butt joint and you're trying to get this sloped profile, you don't ever want to sand lower over here. You're just going to have to put it back. So you sand the minimum amount you can. Always leave a layer on your tape. The moment you see paper tape pop through, you quit sanding on that paper tape. And then you just got to keep putting it on until you get the right contour. Or if you're doing like a recessed joint, you just don't want to go too far. There should always be a slight overlap of drywall mud. Even on a recessed joint, you're not just filling that 2 1/4 inches. You're making it go out a little bit further so it's a gentle slope, and that edge of the recessed edges, they don't pop through the mud. If you sand too far, they'll telegraph right through. Kind of a lot of practice, but that might help you. Yeah, mine's idiopathic. They don't know what caused it. It could be chemicals. It could be damage to my body, nerves, all kinds of things. Let me see if I can understand this. The best tactic for missing an uneven board. Let me zoom out a little bit here if I can. Well, pull this camera down a hair. I'm readjusting it for this. That was kind of hard to explain in words. I am going to try and do a video on that. Yeah, it's just too hard to explain in words. Hey, John, thanks. Sometimes I feel like a bomb. There's a lot of us. There's millions of us like this. It's just extremely exhausting. Luckily, I can sit and do something like this, but I can pretty much guarantee I'll leave here, go sit down, and won't be able to move the rest of the night. Absolutely, depending on what you're doing. Level 5 is probably going to send me a set to demonstrate to you guys. I can run pretty much all of them. My big limitation, let me change hats again here. My big limitation is my shoulder. Honestly, I'm going in for physical therapy soon because raising my shoulder past here hurts when I'm spreading mud. It's just torture, and that comes from so many years of doing that. And I honestly, if you can see it, I've got really strong shoulders from doing that. You need that. It's important if you're going to do this. You got to build up strength. But bazookas and flat boxes will work your butt off. So that's why I'm saying that. You got to work up to them. They can kick your butt, but boy, they are fast if you learn how to use them right. There's no way anybody out there that says they're as fast as a guy with tools really is, unless they've been following guys that don't know how to run the tools. So it's worth the investment if you're going to do quite a bit. If you're just going to dabble in it, maybe not. I've got one mud box these days, and that's because I did a lot of popcorn ceiling removal and I had to go back and coat all the joints every time. I could go through and coat the entire ceilings in a whole house in 20 minutes and did a great job. So yes, they are worth it if you have the use for them. Yeah, them Klingons. Let's see, drywall, mud, shotter's truth. Oh, let's see, there's still 73 of you in here, so if you guys have any other questions, I'll look up here and see if I missed one. Yeah, that was such a stupid situation. I won't tell you the whole story on it, but we were living with a friend and we got into it over something over a long period of time, and they decided, his girlfriend and her friend decided to go on Google and try and make claims that have anger issues and all this stuff. It was just stupid. Oh boy, I'm going to do a video on that one of these days. I've actually been thinking about that. One of the worst was recently. Let me mute this and grab a drink and I'll be right back. I got to clear my throat again. to unmute. There. Probably not going to be able to go a whole lot longer here, and it's an hour and 13 minutes anyway. This recent one was bad because I drove an hour and a half to get up on top of this mountain, go in the middle of nowhere, no cell service, no TV, no nothing, to do some drywall repairs for a lady that contacted me by phone text only. She was out of the state, and she wanted me to go up and fix a few cracks. They'd taken off the strips on her modular walls. Anybody that knows anything about that, they're like vinyl coated drywall and then these strips, and they had just taken off some of them. She wanted them fixed, so I went up and fixed them. I charged her just $450 for a day. I told her I can only work 4 or 5 hours, but it's 2 hours of driving. And she asked me if I could bid the paint. Her painter was 3 months behind. I'm like, I really can't right now. So anyway, she kind of talked me into it. And I thought, well, it sounded like she's in a bind, and she had a budget of $2,000 to paint this whole modular, and that included about 10 colors. And I told her I can't do it for that, so I gave her a really reasonable price, and we knocked a few colors down. And then I told her, I've got this long haul stuff. She's actually a nurse. I thought she'd understand all this. I've got this long haul stuff. I'm extremely tired. That's one reason I don't want to go do it. If I get up there and when my energy goes, it's like somebody pulled the plug on a bathtub. It's literally like 1 minute I've got energy, and 2 minutes later, I can barely walk. I can barely talk. I've come into the house and barely can talk. So I didn't want to be all the way up on top of this mountain and have that happen. And I said, if it happens, I may have to sleep up there. I'll bring my own bedding. So I did. I slept up there, and she found out about it and just blew a cork over the fact that I did that, and just a bunch of the stupidest stuff. And here I was trying to help her out, and so I got screwed out of a bunch of money because she just didn't want to pay me. It's really what it amounted to. I've usually found that whenever I try and help somebody with a really cheap job, I get burned. So there's another advice for you. I am going to put that information on my YouTube community tab as soon as I get it. I have to go put all of the tools on there. It's a lot of work to create this giveaway, and I just got notice of more tools yesterday, and I'm still waiting on a few more, so I can't go start this contest until I have every tool. So be watching my videos. I will mention it in every video. I'll put links in the description when I finally have it. I'll post it on the community tab. I'll make it real clear where you can go. That's about all I can tell you right now. I've got it started, but I don't have it launched yet, so. Estimating. Yeah, I'm going to try and do that too. I'm also going to try and put that in a course. For those of you that are trying to build a business out of this, I'm going to create a course that's going to walk you everything from choosing a business name to how to get referrals, how to build a reputation with repeat customers, a positive reputation on Google, Yelp, anywhere like that, all the Angie's List, Facebook. You want to have those 5-star reviews, how to get them. There's a trick to it. I actually studied sales when I was younger, and a lot of that stayed with me and applies to businesses like this. Let's see, I'm going to walk you through everything from signage, where to get signage. I'm going to show you, like, I used to have 32 square foot signs on the side of my trailer. It cost me $32. I'm going to show you where to do that kind of stuff, how to estimate, how to set up contracts, what to put in the contracts, how to keep yourself from getting burned. Once I started writing contracts and writing them well, I seldom get burned. I used to get burned more often, and it usually comes from the end, getting towards the end of the job, and the owner going, "But you said you were going to do this." And if you go, "No, what I said was," you're going to lose every time. But if you got that in writing, you'll win. And I've had customers try me on some of those things, and I point out in the contract, this is what I said, stops them dead in their tracks. They should have read the contract if that wasn't what they wanted. I'm going to walk you through that whole thing. I'm going to have a couple different levels of courses. Some of them are going to be really extensive, but I'm going to cut years and years off your time. Took me 20 years to get really good at my business, and now I can go out and make $125 to $200 an hour. That comes from what I'm going to teach you in that course. And of course that depends on where you are. I tell you what, look up Paul Peck. He was on here earlier. Paul, you're probably not on here anymore, but look up Paul Peck YouTube channel. He does a lot of that sand skip trowel. I don't. We just don't do it in this area. In all my years out here, I've got this little container of sand, and I think it's just silica sand, but a certain grit. And I just kept that little container in case I had to do a repair. And I've repaired about everything, but I never see sand texture. So he's more the expert on it. Tell him I sent you. Skim coating blades, like I was showing earlier in the video here, this 20-inch one that I'm giving away. You get the clean version of this. This is my personal one. It's a level 5, and 24 inches is a really good all-around size. It'll do some general skim coating. It'll do repairs, butt joints and that. And the thing about bigger is what happens is almost all walls in your standard builders grade homes where, you know, it's your typical 3-bedroom, a 2-car garage house that are built in the 70s especially, they almost all have wavy walls and or wavy ceilings. So if you get too big of a blade, it just rides on the low part of that waviness. Doesn't do you as much good. This 24-inch is a good size for that. But 32, I like the 32 in I've got I think it's a 48-inch that Marshalltown sent me. I used that on a few repairs and it worked great. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I want to do a video on soundproofing, but on my channel, I like to take it to the nth power. I like to take it a little deeper, show you a little more. I have studied soundproofing a fair amount. I have a book on it, and I went looking for it the other day, partly for that reason. But with all the moving, I think I've lost it. I'm going to have to see if I can find it. It talked a lot about sound transmission class and noise reduction ratings. It's things that you use to measure sound. And there's so many different ways of doing it that it just depends kind of what your budget is. If you don't have much budget, if you're replacing plaster and less ceiling, I take it you've got a 2-story house or something where there's somebody above you. And if that's the case, what you're looking at mostly is sound transmission class. That's the sound that gets beat through the wall. When you hear the bass of the next door neighbor, that's the sound transmission class that would measure that. That's where the wall like gets hit from people walking up above, dropping things and so on. There's a different technique to reduce the STC versus the other sound, which is normally the higher frequencies. And there's just so many ways. There's rock wool sound bats that do a really good job. They do a really good job. If you're going to take that down and put rock wool, just look up, I think it's called Sound Control, or they're made specifically for sound. Also, you could put up RC channel. It's a resilient channel, and it basically decouples a lot of the sheetrock. So when the sheetrock does vibrate, it doesn't vibrate through the whole floor joist. It just vibrates through that one little part. I'm sure you've probably heard of green glue. That's more like if you're putting 2 layers up. It gets kind of complicated, so if I just had 1,000 hours a month, I have so many videos I want to put out. Let's see. Hi, Jeannie. Jeannie and Nick are my good friends in Glenwood. Nick's the one that's going to be doing my editing, and he's the musician with the channel, YouTube channel of music. Let's see. Boy, this 2-screen system's not working very good. You know, when I was young, I did enjoy doing it. I've always had this belief that no matter what you're going to do in life, why not be the best at it? If you're going to pump out outhouses, why not be the best? Because you know what? Some might know you and go, hey, I want to make you a manager. Or, hey, I got a job over here, better pay, don't have to pump the outhouses. You know, it's how you get ahead in life is just doing the best work you can. So I've always believed in it. So when I was young, I enjoyed it more because it was a challenge. I've always liked the challenge of trying to get the best I can at something. And that's partly why I'm ready to get out of drywall. I just don't find many challenges. Like somebody said earlier, I can pretty much do it with my eyes closed anymore. And it just kind of starts becoming another drywall repair. And honestly, I can go in and say do 2 holes this big in somebody's house with skip trowel in an hour, hour and a half. I make good money, but I like doing this for them. Looking forward to it. So this is my buddy's channel. So if you like music, he's a really good guy. He's trying to figure out the direction of his channel yet, but he's just check him out. It's hard to describe. I mean, he does some cool stuff. He's a very talented guy. There's some of his videos right there. There's the spelling, Nick Coleman. Boy, I really can't tell you on that one. That one's too hard. Thank you. You know, I know some of you know our story. We've had just rough 2.5 years, tons of health issues, and I just keep pushing forward. Absolutely. I'll tell you a quick story on that. I once bid a popcorn ceiling removal and it had been painted too many times. I told him it's probably not going to scrape. One of my tests is I reach up. Since I'm 6'2", I can reach an 8-foot ceiling, scrape my fingers across it. If nothing falls off, it's not going to scrape. If a few of the little balls fall off, it might scrape, and if a fair amount falls off, it's going to be fairly easy. Nothing fell off. It had been painted too many times. So I told him, I can't scrape it. I can give you some other options, but it's going to cost about double. And they said, well, we flip houses every year. We live in our motorhome out here. We'll scrape it, no problem. So they did. They called me back, and they had to go down to like 3 or 4 inch knives because the wider it is, the harder it pushes. They got it, but there was probably 200 or 300 torn brown paper spots. So I told them, well, your next step is RX-35. So they put 2 coats on. After they checked and prepped everything like I told them, not one, hang on, I'll be back, not one of them bubbled out of that whole house. So yeah, you can just roll it on like paint, but it is very runny. But, you know, I hear all the time about the other ways that you can fix it, and there are other ways you can fix torn brown paper, and I am trying to test that. I tried one day and wasted 2 sheets of drywall. I couldn't get it to come out right, but I'm still going to try. But I can tell you that shellac works, but it's flammable and stinks. Guards is another good product, and the RX-35. Those are the 3 I know the best. Lately I've been playing with spray adhesive. It works pretty good. Yeah, do it right, huh? You know, I found that song when I was early on in my YouTube career, and I was like, that's perfect, because I want to teach people how to do it right. Let's see. Well, it's kind of like this. Pros don't. When I was doing new construction, our basic premise was we sanded between coats, and that was to knock off the little nibs. You'll always get little, basically drywall boogers hanging out of mud boxes and off the edges, and you just go through the sander really quick, knock off those nibs. And then in the final coat, we would just go through to knock off the lap marks, but you're still sanding kind of everything. We never dusted, never, and had no problems because it will just kind of melt back in. But it's not a bad idea, especially on a repair. On a repair, I usually dust it or vacuum it, which is one advantage to these drywall vacuum sanders back here. They vacuum as you go. They pull the dust out of the little pinholes you get, the bubbles, and pull a lot of the dust off, and it just helps texture stick. Like if I do a hand texture and I haven't dusted it, the mud doesn't want to stick as well. I got to kind of work it in, and the dust will work back into the mud, but it makes it harder. So dusting is a good idea. Wallpaper, I always try to strip, because I've tried a time or two to do something else and it'll bubble. It's worse than the brown paper in a way. So if you can strip it, strip it. I'm going to try and do one on that one day. Spencer Colgan has a good YouTube channel about wallpaper, and I don't know if he's in here tonight at all, but he can help you with that. But I often used a paper tiger, which puts tiny little holes in it everywhere, and then spray DIF, D-I-F, on it with diluted in water. And I would let it soak anywhere from 1 to 5 times and 5 to 20 minutes each soaking. And then it would get in behind the wallpaper, loosen it, and then it comes off a lot easier. And then then you just have to remove the glue, the adhesive, fix any repairs, and you're good to go. Yep. You mean Vancouver Carpenter? Either way, yeah, it's right. You don't really have to dust it. It just makes it easier, and it is going to kind of give you a little better stick of your texture and paint. And plus, if you're doing like level 5, you don't want that dust in there anyway, so you want to get all the dust off that you can. I have a special drywall sander for that. I have a drywall rated vacuum, and then I have a special sander. I don't think it's out here, but I went and bought a $30 attachment about this wide that has horsehairs for bristles, because those cheap ones you buy at Home Depot with the plastic bristles on drywall, they suck. This horsehair one, you go over like dust on the floor, it comes up clean in one pass. Picks up much better. And then I bought this other attachment that's an extendable wand. It's more for home use, but it goes from like 30 inches to 45 inches, and that way I can stand up and vacuum, but you can also vacuum the walls. Oh, new comments. Yeah, really horsehair. And did you know they used to put horsehair in the plaster? Anybody that says they've got a lath and plaster house, some of the turn of the century ones, if you don't put some kind of binder in that old plaster, it was kind of brittle, so they put horsehair in it. I've seen it. I know it's kind of crazy, but they did back then. When I lived in Glenwood Springs, a lot of the houses there were turn-of-the-century homes. It's where Doc Holliday is buried and died in the hospital up there. So, as a matter of fact, in that town, Teddy Roosevelt used to stay there, and he would leave a teddy bear on the bed. And back then they called it something else, but because his name was Teddy, the maids coined it as Teddy Bear, and I think it stuck. At least that's what I heard. Yep. A lot of people don't know about it, though. You know, and I'm going to be 60 in June. That was my goal, to hit 100,000 subscribers was in June. Well, we obviously blew that out of the water, luckily, through hard work and all. But I'm going to be 60. I first walked on stilts when I was 8, so that's 52 years I've been around this stuff. Been out a little while I was in the military. 4 years while I ran a pawn shop and was part owner in it. Repoed cars for a year or two with my dad. I also wrote a book about biodiesel called Do-It-Yourself Guide to Biodiesel. It's in Amazon. And I ended up manufacturing equipment for 6 years. So I've gotten out of construction a few times. Otherwise, I'd have 50 some years in this if I looked at it that way. But I try and be honest with you guys and tell you the truth and not exaggerate, because one of the things that's always perturbed me about hiring help is they often exaggerate and basically lie. I've had a lot of guys I've hired, and it's like, how many years experience you got? And this one guy told me, 20. I'm like, I said experience in drywall. He told me 20, and I figured out later nowhere near that, and I hired him to help with popcorn ceiling removal, some repairs, and then retexturing all the ceiling. So I could see he wasn't up to it. So I said, I tell you what, you go upstairs and texture the 8-foot ceiling in a bedroom, 12 by 12. I'm going to texture the ceiling down here. It's a vaulted ceiling. It went up 12 foot. I had the scaffold plank over the furniture that was all covered. It had a high wall for the kitchen. It was an open concept. I moved all the ladders, the planks and everything, and I put on 4 boxes of mud texturing that ceiling while he did the little one upstairs on an 8-footer. And supposedly he was a pro. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, your stuff has that in it. I've done a few videos with your stuff, and I still think it has its use. If you heard me talking earlier about that modular home that I had to fix the cracks after you pull the strips off, I used nothing but that to save her money. I told her I would. Told her that's the only way I can do it for the price she wanted. and I didn't see anything crack. I'm convinced it has its use, but I think it needs a lot more widespread testing before we absolutely say that. But I'm going to show that product some more, because that you can see on the screen there, tapeless drywall finishing. So basically the concept of that is like many products through history have fibers in them. Everything from straw and adobe to rebar, mesh grid, even fibers in concrete. I had a shop that had nothing but fibers in the concrete, no cracks, because it basically is holding it together. It's not that the fibers have to be super strong, it's just all those little fibers or rebar or whatever are holding it together. It's kind of I think it's a compressive strength, but it helps keep it from cracking. So it does have some basis there, and I'm still testing it out. Yeah, when I did biodiesel, I did that for 6 years, and I sold one to the Air Force Academy here in Colorado Springs. I shipped some to South Africa, Tanzania, kind of all over the world. It was pretty much a whirlwind. I got out of it because it's also like a feast or famine kind of business. I was super busy in 2008, and we did a huge amount of sales. I had 3 distributors across the country with vehicle wraps. I had 5 people working in my shop, 3 building, 2 in the office, and then myself. And we couldn't keep up. And then at the end of that year, the fuel prices dropped dramatically. We went into a recession. Sales stopped like cold. I could barely survive. Next thing I know, it was me and my wife working out of a little 2-car garage, and that was it. And I decided it's time to go back into drywall. The attachment with horsehair, I went to my local vacuum shop, literally went to the guy and said, I'm doing a job in a bank. I need to keep the dust down. I need a better attachment. What do you got? Now I had to do some adapting to get it all to work. I think to attach the horsehair part to the wand, I duct taped it. But I was going to leave it that way forever, and it's worked great. Let's see. Hey Dustin, yep, Alamos is not too far from us. We're both in Colorado. For those that don't know, I'm on the western slope, like 25 miles from Utah, along the I-70 corridor. Alamos is more like south, kind of in the middle of the state. I've driven through there many times on the way to New Mexico. I have a lot of relatives in Roswell, so I think I'm part alien. Dang iPad. Jet fuel is expensive, yeah. Well, biodiesel worked in any diesel vehicle. One of the other reasons I got out is the newer vehicles were getting to where they couldn't tolerate biodiesel. The older vehicles could. And there was a number of reasons. I don't want to make this too long, but my dad and I were buying 20 acres together. I sold my house with an 8-car garage with 2,100 square foot garage, all finished, heated, skip trowel, bone floors. I sold it, came down here to help my dad out because he was having health issues with heart attacks. We were buying 20 acres together, and we were making biodiesel there. And where my brain fog is kicking in, guys, I just forgot what I was talking about. This is what happens when I get really tired lately with this long COVID. We had to move because my dad passed away suddenly at 70 during a minor operation. His heart gave out. We've moved 9 times since then, or 10. The next house we moved to, it was on 4.5 acres, had a 40,000 gallon in-ground swimming pool, it had room for all of my biodiesel stuff and my drywall stuff, and we ended up having to move again because that place got foreclosed and we were just renters. The next place we moved to ended up being in town. Somebody found out I had the biodiesel stuff, reported me to the city like good old people do, and then that was on 3 acres, 2.5 acres. So they came and made me remove all cooking oil off the property, and I just got out of it for good at that point. Thank you. I've always enjoyed helping people. Right now I'm trying to help about 4 or 5 people get their YouTube channels going because I like to do that. I like to help people. Thank you, sir. Well, I tell you what, it's an hour and 44 minutes. That's a long live stream. If anybody's got any more specific questions here, I can answer them real quick, but otherwise I do want to say, let's see, before you go, you find where it's at. I hope you guys will consider helping support our channel by showing your support by joining us on Patreon. And there's a link in the description, or if there's not, there will be. You can go to patreon.com and look me up also. All that stuff really helps because honestly, YouTube is not totally the best way to make money. For example, just recently I had 5 videos reported for copyright claims, so I no longer get to make any money on those videos, and I think it's bullshit because it's a place on the internet that says free YouTube music, free to use on your YouTube videos, and I couldn't find anything that said anything else, so I took some of that music and I used it. They waited till my videos had 100,000 views or more, kind of a thing, and now they're claiming copyright on them, so they'll get all of my money because I use their music. So I dug into it really closely, and I finally found where it said you can only use it if you're not going to use it commercially. Well, they didn't make that very clear. I think they pull on a fast one to get us to use that free music, and then they come and claim it and get all of our YouTube income. So really helps if you guys can join us on Patreon or the YouTube membership thing, that kind of stuff. Otherwise, yeah, I think I'm going to wrap this up. I thank you guys so much for joining me. I thank you guys for being part of this journey, getting us over 100,000 subscribers. It's awesome. My next goal is 200,000. And we may have another big giveaway at 150. We'll see what the vendors, if they're open to it. I love giving back to you guys, giving you guys some bonuses. So if they are, we'll do that. If not, we'll plan on doing it at 200,000. Let's see how fast I can get 200,000. And the way I'm going to do that is help a lot more of you, put out a lot more good videos, and, you know, respond to you and connect to you guys. So once again, thank you so much. I will see you on the next video. And if you got any questions, join me on Patreon, ask away. I'll try and help you out. Thanks a lot, everybody, and good night.